3, it's easier to raise your prices when you have a steady stream of qualified leads coming in. And basically what this comes down to is your supply and demand, right? If you increase the demand, then you're able to just easily raise your prices. Let me see the other one. Yeah, so basically on this one is, look, if you're getting one phone call, right? One phone call, not even a phone call, one inquiry, right? Like someone sends you an email, someone sends you a text, someone gives you a call. You're getting one inquiry once a week. Let's keep it super extreme. You're getting one call, one inquiry once a week. So in the total of a month, you'll get at max 4 people interested in your services. Okay. What happens when you have such a low amount of people reaching out to you? Every person that reaches out to you, in your head, you're like, oh my God, I gotta land this customer. Like, what do I have to do? Do I have to cut my prices in half? Do I have to give them more? Do I say that there's a special? Do I work with their budget? You get so basically scared that, like, man, this is the one customer I'm getting for the week. Not even customer. This is the one potential customer that I'm getting for the week. I need to really make sure I land them. So I want to charge $200 for this interior, but this is I haven't had a call since last week, so I'm gonna charge $50. I'm gonna charge $100. So if you don't have that many inquiries on a daily or weekly basis, you're kind of putting yourself in a situation where it's hard for you to do anything other than try to fight for every customer that you can. And this is where a lot of us fall into the realm of, well, I knew this wasn't gonna be a good customer, but I wanted the money. Well, this customer wanted XYZ and his budget was only this, but he wanted all this, so I did it anyways. Where, like, you're not even choosing customers at this point. You are just taking whatever life is giving you with these customers. And because it's so infrequent, the volume is so low, you will do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure you win the customer. And look, everyone's going to go through that phase, okay? Like, we're all going to eventually have to, just take on whatever work. It might be like, oh, I should charge $240, but the customer said they can only do $180, and I haven't had a customer in over a week, and I want to get experience, so I'm just gonna do this very bad, interior and exterior that would actually take me like 7 hours. I'm gonna just charge $180 when it should be whatever. You get what I'm trying to say here. Is that you'll just take on whatever you can. So probably out of this entire podcast is like probably one of the bigger things that you can do is not even one of the big. I'd say this goes up there with, like, this probably would be number one, where you increase the amount of qualified leads that you get in your business, and get this on a daily basis. Meaning, if you can go from one inquiry every week to one inquiry every day, now things start to shift, right? Let's just say 5 days out of the week, right? So in the first phase, you were getting one call every week, 4 calls per month. Now, you've done your marketing, you've done this, you've done that, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward, 3-6 months, you're now getting one inquiry every day. So between 4 inquiries in 1 month versus 20 inquiries, I'm not really sure I got 4 fingers, 4 inquiries versus 20 inquiries, which one do you think is in a better position to get more customers? Right? Just based solely off of the volume of leads that you're getting. If you can get 20 over 4, you're in a much better position to land more customers because you just have a higher volume. And if you dig down on marketing and you focus on that one thing to generate those leads, those qualified leads, then it is astronomically easier to increase your pricing, because you have an influx of potential customers calling you, contacting you, wanting you to detail their vehicle. And at that point, it is very, very easy. Let's see here. I remember when I'm looking at my phone right now. I remember when I first started getting calls, right, through search engine optimization, SEO. That's back in 2014, 2015. When I started seeing the results. And I remember, like, I went from, like, getting basically no calls. And as my SEO progressed and as I, moved up the ranks in Google, I moved up to, the 3rd page, 2nd page, top of 2nd page, bottom of 1st page. And I would see the calls and emails increasing, right? Maybe it'd be like 1 call and 2 emails per week. Then like 2 calls, 2 emails per week. And then, 4 calls, 2 emails per week. And then, at some point it was like, it was just getting out of hand. Like the emails and phone calls would not stop coming in. And they were just coming in day after day after day after day, that like I would finish a job and there'd be like 4 phone calls, 4 missed calls from potential customers with the 2 voicemails saying, "Hey, here's my vehicle. This is what I want. Please call me back." Then I'd go and check my inbox, and there's 2, 3 other emails in there. So at that point, when you're getting when you get to the point where there's an increased volume of qualified leads into your business, you like, even if you disregarded everything else in this podcast and you just saw that there's an increase in leads, you would just like naturally be like, "Oh wow, like so I could just raise my prices because like there's just so many people now." So I remember like when I started getting a lot of calls, I just started raising my prices. Like there was no like plan behind it. There was no like yeah, like yeah, like I don't even know, but it's like there was nothing behind it. I was just like, man, these are a lot of calls. I'm just gonna start raising my prices. Like not every other person, but in segments, I guess you could say that every new segment that I passed or something, I would start upping the pricing. So let's say like after, I don't know, I'm just trying to think off the cuff here, but like let's say after every 50 customers, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna raise my prices again. And then starting then moving forward, my prices would be raised. And then after another 50 customers, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep on raising them. And that's all I would do. Like there was no like scientific method or like, yeah, I'm projecting this, projecting that. No, I was like, wow, these are a lot of people calling me and emailing me now, so I'm just gonna raise my prices. That's it. And that's basically it. But I would say this one is the most important. You have to increase the demand for your services. If you have one person contacting you per week, you can't do much about that. You're in that desperation phase. You're in that hopeful phase that you hope this one customer books with you. You hope this one customer tips. You hope this one person, hires you again. Whereas when you focus on the marketing, when you build that lead generation that generates a consistent flow of qualified leads on a daily basis, and you see those results and you see it coming in, and like you just like it's happening, then it's much easier to raise your rates. Because yes, like and I'll kind of connect this to the next point where it says this is the next point, but I'll fuse it in. It says you'll always be too expensive to someone at any price point. So even when you're just starting and when you just get one inquiry per week, those people are still telling you, that's too expensive. So whether you are charging $100 for the interior or $250 for the interior, at any given point, you're too expensive for someone. So even when you get more leads, plenty of them are still going to tell you no. Even if you raise your rate, even if you keep them at the same price, they're going to still say, "Oh, that's too expensive. I can't. Hey, can you work on my budget?" Whatever. But at all times, you're going to be too expensive to someone. But when you are able to get a higher volume of qualified leads into your business, you'll still get not a lot more yeses, but you'll get enough yeses that book out your schedule. And there'll still be plenty of people that are going to be like, "Oh, that's too expensive. Oh, I can't afford that right now. Oh, can you work with my budget?" So it's important to note, because like you have to take away that fear of like people saying no, of scaring people away, of people not being able to afford your pricing. Whether you're charging $25 an hour, $50 an hour, or $100 an hour, someone's not going to be able to afford that at any time. So you can't be stuck on the idea of like, I need to get everyone as a customer, right? Like not every person that contacts you is going to become a paying customer. It just simply, that's not how it is. Like that would be too good. That'd be too good to be true.